Hey guys, it's Kay. So you've just purchased the NVIDIA Shield TV Pro. Well, in today's video, I'm going to show you the best things you can do to get the most out of it. Now that includes adding external storage so you can install more apps, also installing Google Play Store so you can install any app you want, and installing RetroArch, which will let you play thousands of retro games on the NVIDIA Shield TV Pro. And last but not least, install a custom launcher which will give you widgets on your home screen and other great features, making your Shield TV a lot more useful and easier to navigate. If you're new to the channel and you want to stay up to date with the latest tech tutorials, reviews and unboxings, I do everything including Fire Stick, Raspberry Pi and Android TV tips and tricks, so subscribe and hit the notification button. Now today I'm going to be looking at installing an SSD to my NVIDIA Shield Pro. So you might be asking, why do you need an NVIDIA Shield TV external storage device? Well, basically in the newer version of the NVIDIA Shield we lost the SD card slot, so on first glance storage options look limited. But thankfully the Shield TV Pro still has two perfectly good USB 3 ports. Previously I have used a USB thumb drive, but I now want to boost the performance. So I'm going to be using an SSD, and I'm going to use the Sabrent 2.5 SATA hard drive SSD to USB 3 adapter. Believe me, that's a bit of a mouthful, but who cares as long as it works. So as you can see, the important thing is it's plug and play and it's hot swappable. Now for the SSD, I'm going to be using this Kingston 240GB drive. This should give my NVIDIA Shield a boost in speed and space. So up close you can see the Sabrent cable is going to fit perfectly to the SSD and the USB 3 port of the NVIDIA Shield. All that remains to be done is connecting the Sabrent cable to the SSD. And like it says on the box, it's just plug and play. Perfect fit. Now we just need to connect the other end to the USB 3 port of the NVIDIA Shield, but there's a few things we need to do first before we do this. Now the main thing you need to do is connect your hard drive to your PC or Mac, and using a disk utility, format it to exFAT. Now if you miss this step out, you're going to get the following error message when you connect your SSD to your NVIDIA Shield. So once you've done that, you can safely connect your SSD to your NVIDIA Shield. Now back on the NVIDIA Shield, once you power up, you'll see a notification, and it should say USB drive, tap to set up. Now if you do that, you'll get the option to browse, set up device storage or eject. I'm going to scroll down and select setup as device storage. At this point you're going to need to format the drive. Now give it a few minutes to do its thing. Now I'll speed this up for your convenience. So when it's complete, you're going to get two options to move your data now or move it later. Now this will move the majority of your data from your NVIDIA Shield's drive to the SSD drive. Now I know I haven't got much data to move across, so I'm going to do it now. Again, give it a few minutes. Now it says data has been migrated to the USB drive, but to check, we're going to go into our settings and scroll down to device preferences, and then scroll down to storage, and there you can see we have our SSD with 236GB. And if we select it, we can see how the space is distributed on the drive. As you can see, mine's quite empty, so I better get busy and start filling this up. Next, I'm going to show you how to install any Google Play Store app on your NVIDIA Shield. So this means apps that are not normally intended for Android TV. It's going to open up a whole new world for your Android TV platform on your NVIDIA Shield, and you won't even have to sign into the Google Play Store. So without further ado, let's get started. If you're new to the channel and you want to stay up to date with the latest tech tutorials, reviews and unboxings, I do everything including Fire Stick, Raspberry Pi and Android TV tips and tricks, so subscribe and hit the notification button. Okay, so once you start up the app, you'll see it looks quite similar to the Google Play Store. On the top there's a search bar so you can search for the app you're interested in. It's all very familiar. You just select the app you're interested in and it'll bring you to the download page. You can scroll down and look at the screenshots and the reviewers' star ratings. And on the main page, if you select the more option, you can filter the results by ratings and number of downloads. Now to get every single app available to you on your NVIDIA Shield, we need to update the settings. For example, if we search for Angry Birds, you'll find that you won't find it anywhere. This is because the Google Play Store is filtering down the apps according to your device. So if you go back to the home page and click on the hamburger menu and scroll down until you get to spoof. Now from here we can spoof the Play Store into thinking we have a different device other than the NVIDIA Shield TV, i.e. a mobile phone, thus opening up the Play Store to the full Android experience and not apps just for Android TV. So currently our device is correctly set up as the NVIDIA Shield TV. So I'm going to click on Spoof Device, and this should give you a list of devices. Now I'm going to scroll down and choose a Google Pixel 2. Now I've chosen this because it is a Google device and it should have access to all the apps on the store. You'll then get this message that the setting will be applied after you restart the app. So if we click back to the home page and select Account, and just simply click on Log Out, and then just click on Login anonymously. And now if we go back to the home page and scroll down to Spoofing, you'll see that we're logged in as a Google Pixel 2. So let's do that search again for Angry Birds, and now what you'll see is that all the Angry Bird apps appear. I'm going to choose Angry Birds 2 and just click on Install, and then Open. The key thing is to spoof your device. this software store app, we first need to go to Download and enter Aurora APK in the search bar. Now this will bring up a few results. You need to scroll down until you get to the F-Droid Aurora app. Now simply scroll down until you get to Download F-Droid and just click on Download. And then click on Install and Install again. And finally click on Open. Here we need to click on the green search icon, and now we just type in Aurora and we want to select the second one down. And finally click on Install. Click on Install again. And that's it guys, we can now open the Aurora App Store. Click on the Next button. We now need to give it permission, so click on Ask, click on Allow, and then it will ask you how you want to log into the Google Play Store. I'll click on Anonymous. And that's it guys, we are logged in anonymously to the Google Play Store and we can download anything we want. Just remember to spoof your device. Now I've also added the Aurora App Store to my NVIDIA Shield's favourites apps. Now the games emulator in question is RetroArch. Now for those of you who don't know, RetroArch is a front end for emulators, games engines and media players. It lets you run classic games for a wide range of computers and consoles through its slick graphical interface. So in this video I'm going to show you how to install RetroArch and install some games and then play them. I'll also be showing you how to connect a Bluetooth controller. Now in my case this controller is the PS4 controller, but you can of course use any Bluetooth controller. Okay, without further ado, let's get on with it. So once you switch on your NVIDIA Shield, this is the home screen you'll see. What you'll get is recommendations for movies, TVs, shows, apps and games. Now you can manually sort your apps or you can enable automatic sorting based on your usage. And all your settings are just a press of a button away. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is pair a Bluetooth controller. So click on the settings button and scroll down to remotes and accessories. And then scroll down to add Bluetooth accessories and select. The Shield is now in Bluetooth search mode. You now pick up your Bluetooth controller and put it in pairing mode, and eventually it will be found and it will show up on your screen. And the pairing process will begin. Once you get the following message, just select it, and that's it, you now have a Bluetooth controller that works with your Shield. So getting RetroArch is just a simpler matter of going to the Google Play Store and searching for RetroArch. Now you'll come across two versions, the 64-bit version and the 32-bit version. I chose the 32-bit version. Obviously you'll have to wait for it to install, I've already installed it. Now this is RetroArch's front end. And as you can see, it's picked up my Bluetooth gamepad. Now on first glance this all looks very daunting, but don't worry, I'm going to guide you through this. Now the first thing we're going to do is download a core, which is a plugin tailored to work with a particular platform you're trying to emulate. So for example, before playing a PlayStation Portable game, we need to download a core that supports PlayStation Portable. So that's exactly what I'm doing here. Once you select it, it will download and extract it automatically. I'm also going to download the Sega Genesis core, also the Sega Pico drive, and not forgetting the Sega Dreamcast, and also the Super Nintendo, and why not the Nintendo 64, and last but not least the Nintendo GameCube. Okay, now we've finished that, we need to scroll all the way back to the main menu, and we're going to scroll down to Online Updater. From here we're going to select Update Installed Cores. Now this just makes sure we have the latest version of the cores we just downloaded. Okay, back at the main menu we're going to go down to Settings, and scroll down to Input, scroll down to Hotkeys and select Menu Toggle Gamepad Combo. Now I'm going to select L3 and R3. This allows you to exit any game to the main menu. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do is scan for our games ROMs. Now I can't tell you where to get these, but a simple Google search should suffice. So you want to go down to Storage and you should look for a folder that contains a lot of numbers in its name. And as you can see, I call my folder RetroArch, and within that folder I have all the individual games folders. And what you need to do is scan these folders for the games. So I'm going to go through each individual folder and scan for each of those individual games. Okay, so the next one I'm going to do is PlayStation. Now the next one is the Sega Mega Drive. Now I have quite a lot of ROMs for this, so it can take quite a while. So meanwhile, I'll also scan for my SNES games. Okay, now when the majority of that is all done, you can scroll down and you'll see some new folders with some snazzy icons. I've got my Mega Drive, Nintendo 64, PlayStation Portable, and my Super Nintendo. Now my Mega Drive folder is still scanning in the background, but that's okay. You're still going to be able to play the games it's scanned so far. Okay, let's try some PlayStation Portable games. So I think I'll try Mortal Kombat first. Click on Run, and then choose the emulator you're going to run it with. So PlayStation Portable. So the core is now set, and we just play. Now the Nividia Shield should have no problem playing these games. It's got more than enough grunt under its bonnet to handle all the mechanics here. Now as you can see, the gameplay is fluid and it's fast, and there's no screen tearing. Now I'm going to try my Mega Drive emulator next, and I think I'm going to go with Aero Acrorat. So again we click on Run and then associate the core, and this time I'm going to use the Pico drive. Okay, so this is a horizontal scroller on a timer. Now getting at the game, we just press those hotkeys we assigned earlier, which was L3 and R3. Let's take a quick look at body count next. Again, click Run and then associate the core. And really it's as simple as that, guys. So this is more of a shoot 'em up. Okay, now I'm going to try Nintendo 64.
Welcome to Mario Kart. Here we go.
Okay, let's try a bit of Super Nintendo and Donkey Kong. Okay guys, I'm back on the PSP and I'm going to have a go at MotoGP. And that's it guys, you now have your system up and running and you can play to your heart's content. Now whilst that all seemed a lot to set up, it doesn't really take more than a few minutes once you have all your ROM files. Now with RetroArch installed, you have one device for streaming media, playing new games, and then playing your favourite vintage games also. Okay guys, last but not least, I'm going to be showing you how to change your normal home screen on your NVIDIA Shield TV. So from this, the stock launcher on the NVIDIA Shield TV, which has limited functionality, to this, a custom TV launcher with widgets, which has got the ability to create sections so you can organize your apps, making them easier to find. You've got full control of how your home screen looks, including the ability to change the size of the icons and widgets on screen. Now don't worry, you can also switch back to your stock launcher at the flick of a switch. So if this tickles your bell, keep on watching. If you're new to the channel and you want to stay up to date with the latest tech tutorials, reviews and unboxings, I do everything including Fire Stick, Raspberry Pi and Android TV tips and tricks, so subscribe and hit the notification button. So let's take a closer look at what you're getting with this launcher. Okay, so the main thing is we're getting widgets on the NVIDIA Shield home screen, and with that comes the ability to interact with those widgets. We're also getting the time and date in the top menu bar. As you would with your phone, you just simply click on the widget and up pops the app. And of course what you see here can be updated in the settings of the app. Now we can update what we see here by clicking on an empty space in the widget section. And from the menu we can select pick widget and we can select our widget. And there we go, a new variation of the same information. Now of course we're not just limited to weather widgets, you can add news, stocks, basically any app that has a widget. Now the other great thing with this launcher is we can create sections for different apps. Like here I've got a news section. And we can also group our apps together by creating folders and putting them in there. So clicking anywhere in the app section brings up a menu and we just select create folder. And from here just give it a name. I'm going to call mine tools. Now you've got the option here to password protect the folder. So if there's anything you want to hide, just use that option. And then just click apply. Okay, so we can see our tools folder has been created. Long pressing on an icon will bring up this menu and then you just select move to folder. And currently there's only one folder created. Now if you had created more folders, they would show up here. So I'm going to select this and you'll see the app move into the folder. I'm also going to move this input viewer into the tools folder. So same process, long press and select move to folder and select tools. So taking a quick look in the tools folder, we'll see we've got our two apps that we just moved. Now the other cool thing we can do is move our apps around to organize them. So I've created a section called news. I'm going to move this BBC iPlayer to that section. Again, long pressing will bring up the menu, so we simply select move to section and select news. And we get the message it's been moved successfully. And if we take a quick scroll down, you can see it's there in the news section. Now we can also change the way our icons look on the home screen. Just long press on the icon and bring up the menu and just select configure. And you can see we've got a load of options here. I'm particularly fond of the border radius option, which lets you change the shape of your icons, giving you that curved rounded look. Now there's a few other cool things you can do with this launcher. Just long press to get the menu up again. And scroll down and select launcher settings. Click on the sections and then manage sections. So from here you can manage the look of your home screen by moving around the sections. So as an example, I'm going to move around my sections and then show you the result. I've got my widgets section, then the news and then application sections, and I'm going to create a new section. And I think I'll call it games. Click on apply and then close. So now looking at my home screen, you can see I've got my widgets on the top, my news section, then my application section, and then the newly created game section, which is empty. Now another cool thing I want to show you is how to change the home screen wallpaper. So just bring up the menu, scroll down to launcher settings and select wallpaper. Now I've used the downloader app to download some wallpapers from the internet, so all my wallpapers will be in the downloader folder. As you can see, I've chosen to go for a Nividia look. All you do is select it and it automatically will change the background. Just give it a few seconds and it'll change eventually. And as you can see, it extends to fill up the whole screen. It really is as simple as that. Now another cool thing we can do is scale the size of the widgets so we can get more content on screen. Simply bring up the menu, select scale, and then you can just scale the widget. Now after all this, you might be thinking, how do I get to my main settings on my NVIDIA Shield? Simply long press on the home screen, bring up the menu and click Android settings, and there you go, you're back to your main settings of the Android TV. Another cool thing we can do is hide individual apps on the home screen. Just bring up the main menu, select launcher settings and select hidden apps. And from here you just highlight the apps you want to hide from the home screen. And just like that, BBC iPlayer disappears from the home screen. And the last thing I want to show you is how you can update your status bar information. Just select status bar from the settings menu and it'll bring up another box. And from here you just click on and off what you want shown on the status bar. Simple as that. So what do we need to get this new launcher installed on our NVIDIA Shield TV? Well, we're going to need to download 3 files. And to download these files, we're going to use the downloader app, which is available on the App Store. Now once you've installed it and opened it up, enter the following address to get the first file. And then press enter and wait for it to download. And when it asks you to confirm install, just click on install. You can now click on done. And now because we've already installed the file, we can delete it now, so click on delete. Now onto the second file we want to download. Enter the following address and click on OK. And it's basically the same process. You wait for it to download, click on install and then click on done and then delete. Now we're on the final stretch. We need to download one more file, so enter the following address and press go. And as before, we click on install, wait for it to install, and then we can delete the file once we've finished. Okay, so we've downloaded and installed 3 applications. So if we go to our applications folder and find the first one, it's called settings. It's got a cog on it. Click on it to open and we'll get the following screen. Now this application will just disable the stock launcher. If we click on disable stock launcher, we're going to get the following message. We need to enable network debugging. So click on open ADB settings and you'll get the developer options. Now a quick side note here, you will need to have set up developer options to show up. It's quite straightforward to set up. You go into settings and about, scroll down and find the build number and tap on it several times. You should get a message telling you that developer options have been enabled. Okay, now back to the job at hand. So scroll all the way down to debugging and click on network debugging. This will enable network debugging. Now come all the way back out and back to the launch manager. Now if you click on disable stock manager, it should work and you'll get the following message. Click on always allow from this computer and click OK. Now if we click on disable stock launcher, it will automatically default to the installed launcher, which in our case is the one we downloaded and installed earlier. And here it is guys, the Wolf launcher. As you can see, we've got our row of applications. There is of course no widgets or sections set up at the moment. So let's try and install a widget. If we go to pick widget and let's select this widget here. We get the following message. So we need to follow the following steps to set up widgets. Now it's saying set up ADB access to your device. Now to do this, we're going to go back to our home screen and open up the third application we downloaded and installed. And that is of course Remote ADB Shell. Now this one we're not going to find as easily as the other two. We need to go to Settings, Apps, select See All Apps, and you should find it near the bottom somewhere. And there it is, Remote ADB Shell. So select it and open it. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is type in the IP address of your NVIDIA Shield TV. Now you will need to find out the IP address of your NVIDIA Shield. Now the next field we just leave it as it is. Click on Connect and select Always from this computer and OK. Now here we need to type the following command to get widgets working on our NVIDIA Shield TV. Once you've typed all that in, just press Enter. And if you don't get any error messages, it's worked. And we can come straight out of there back to the home page. Now from here, if we go to Apps and open the Launcher Manager and select Disable Stock Launcher. Now quick side note here, if you want to go back to your stock launcher, just enable Stock Launcher from this application. Okay, back to the tutorial and then click on the home button to go back to the home page. So that's it guys, we should now have widgets up and running. So like I showed you earlier, you can set up your home page with widgets and custom wallpaper. In all it took me about 5 minutes to get it looking the way I wanted, with my custom widgets, sections and icons. Anyway guys, that's my take on how to set up a custom launcher on the NVIDIA Shield TV with widgets. As usual guys, if you found this video helpful, give us a like and maybe even a subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one.